Hey!
Hello, everybody. Alexa,
Hey!
stop, please.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello, hello, hello.
hello. Welcome aboard.
Welcome to Let's Talk Jaws Live.
Which is much
Hey,
better than
Mike,
Jaws
I
dead,
think
for sure.
I think there's a bunch of new people that came on because of Instagram. So, hello and welcome. If this is your first time on the show, this is an interactive show we do every week. We usually have a guest on, Mike, talk about Jaws, Jaws 2, anything Jaws related. We also we go into other movies and have Michael tells us funny stories.
You put me on the spot now. Now I'm not going to say anything. So I'm going to say anything funny. I'm just going to sit here.
Oh well, if you're a Jaws 2 fan, you know who that in the middle is. None other than Larry Vaughn Jr. in Jaws 2. Who
David
is
Elliot. Sorry.
David Elliot looks great, looks fabulous, looks so good. He'll be joining us.
Looks the same.
He does. Debonair. Miss Elliott is also, I mean, you should see this guy's resume, Mike. It's like, holy shnikes. It's crazy. I mean, hey, we got people coming on. Hey, there, if you want to have your name up on here in the screen here, if you want to leave and go to the Let's Talk Jaws beginning of the website, there's like a little like be live, it says. You click on that and then it will be in a blue bar and it says allow Facebook to put your profile on there. So if you want to go and come back so we can actually see who we're talking to, that'd be great. If you don't, that's cool. Just say your name. Hi, Victor. Is it me or crazy? Oh, my hair again. Jeez.
That's Jamie. Jamie saying hello there, guys.
Okay.
Hello, Victor.
Hello.
Here.
Well, yeah, Michael, I tried to get that red out, that vampire red, and then I tried the blonde. Now I got orange, I got red. I gave up. Whatever.
I was going to do the red hair, and we could have come on as for the Halloween show. Will be Raggedy Ann and Andy.
No, Chucky and Jennifer Tilly there. What was her name? Yeah, what was her name in that? Tiffany, the doll. Yeah, Chucky. Victor Marabelli, ladies and gentlemen, Canada. Here we go. Victor. Who is that? Like again, I can't read from this side, so I apologize.
That's Don Gale, big fan, big Jaws 2 fan.
Oh, Don, hi Don. Yeah, Don was on Instagram. I was talking to him and chatting it out. Don, hey Don, he probably's like, no, I'm not gonna put my profile up there. I was just telling everybody that there's that little profile thing on the page. If you want to go back and hit it, and it'll just show your name up. If you don't want to, that's no big deal either. It's up to you. But yeah, Mike, I'm excited because Larry Jr. was like, I think every girl had a crush on him, right? Him and Billy Van Zandt was cute. Mark Gruner.
Mark Gruner.
And look how good he looks. He looks fabulous. Anyways, oh, he's here. Oh, okay. Without further ado. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than David Elliot. You all know him as Larry Vaughn Jr. in Jaws 2, but there's so much more. He has got a crazy resume. Like, it's so professional. He's done everything. I bet you he's not even added on a few things in there. Actually, his wife's an artist too, and they have one son. And you should see the resume. When we bring him on, I just want to say hi to everybody. You can start asking questions, but just give him let him come on. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, David Elliot. Hey!
There he is.
Hi, good evening.
Put you in the middle.
Very well, and yourself?
Good.
Great.
That was quite the intro.
Oh, good Lord. I'm telling you, I saw your resume. I'm like, my God, it goes on. What a diverse resume you have. Unbelievable. David Elliot.
Someone once told me that the greatest, most valuable currency is experience. And that the more experiences and diverse experiences you can have, the wealthier you'll be. And so I've tried to follow that advice.
Yeah, because we have here, it says David is not only, he's an actor, an author, construction coordinator in film and TV, and private investigator. Also, check this out. Supervised the department for 10 from one of the top 10 grossing films, and you also serve as the assistant business manager for the Entertainment Labor Union Local 44, and a professional boxer and a private investigator.
Welcome, Union brother. Long time member of IATSE 181 in Baltimore. So solidarity.
That's great.
Oh, good Lord.
So,
I love it.
And actually, I think what that resume should be amended to read professional punching bag, because that was more what my boxing career was like. But
what were you, David? Were you like leatherweight, featherweight, featherweight, or
I was a welterweight at that time.
I never tell. I never know how they put them in. Really?
Yeah.
What was your record? What was your record?
My record was like 3-5.
Oh, that's eight more fights than I ever had.
So
yeah. I want to get punched in the face.
Basically, I got hooked up with this guy that ran these what are called smokers, which are kind of like private professional fights, and the predominant clientele were African Americans, and I was the young white boy that got to get his ass kicked, a couple times a month. So I was a big hit.
Oh, that's awesome.
You got a lot of fans.
I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of really great people and really enjoyed it. So
let's start at the beginning. So what led you to Hollywood?
Well, what led me to Hollywood was Jaws 2, because we, as you know, shot the majority of that in Navarro Beach, Florida. But then when it came Christmas time, we went on a Christmas hiatus, and then we came to Los Angeles and finished shooting the last couple weeks in San Pedro Bay. And they put us up at the Queen Mary Hotel. But what got me into the film business was that my father was a professional musician. He was a staff singer on the Gary Moore show, the Jimmy Dean show, so forth. And someone he worked with was looking for kids that could sing and dance for the Ed Sullivan show. And so I auditioned and got the part, and did a singing and dancing routine with Rod McEwen.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember him, but he had a hit called Gene. He's basically a poet, but he wrote this song that became popular. And then after that, I just kept doing it. I thought that if you did a toy commercial, you got to keep the toy, and it got me out of school. So I said, let's keep doing this, and one thing led to another.
Okay.
David, I spent like almost an hour and a half, right? Because I noticed that I remember the doctors being on when I was a young girl, and General Hospital. Like, my mother would watch all of them, but I was more of a General Hospital. But I remember that doctor's soap opera coming on. So I saw the reunion, and I was watching the reunion you guys had. I mean, that soap opera was on for so long, and you started out like on that show, like that was the beginning of like how you started out. You said you kind of grew up on that show, like beginning of it. Like Billy Aldrich. Yeah. And I was trying to find the scene, and it shows like all these other, like another Billy or whatever. I'm like, where is the scene? I was telling Michael, I said, like, I'm looking for the scene for like 2 hours. I couldn't find it. I'm like, anyways, tell us about that, because that's pretty cool. About the adoption one. I would have really liked to pull that episode up. That would have been great. For you to see.
Yeah, they are available online, and they've got, I think, everything from 1970 to 75, or I forget what it is. But if you scroll through they each have like a photo vignette on the menu, and there are a couple that have a photo of me on them. But yeah, I played this kid that was sort of lost between two different families, and at one point my mother had amnesia and had been kidnapped, and all sorts of stuff like that, and there was sort of a little love interest going on with another doctor's daughter. Was whose character name was Greta, and um, uh, and it was great. I mean, it really, if you saw the show, I mean, it was like doing repertory theater. They put on a full production every day, and so we start 6 a.m. and do a full half-hour show live by
Live,
2:30
yeah.
that afternoon. Yeah.
Unbelievable, live.
And when I started, they were actually live. And by the time I started in 1972, when I was 12, and I left because I got Jaws 2, actually. And by the time I left, they were doing live tape, which means they weren't actually going out live, but they were taped live.
Now I saw like I was looking too, and um there's another movie that I actually was that I watched today. Actually, I kept watching it. It was like it was a good movie. It was like Shirley MacLaine's in it. You know what I'm going to talk about?
Well, I think there are some people that might debate you as it being a good movie, but
well, I liked it because it's so like twisted. Like the part
Yeah.
of you, I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like watching the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, and they gave me a bunch of clips, and I'm like, so as a young boy, okay. So those of you at home, let me just pull up the Okay, so we want to just go and we're going to kind of go. Did you get that before the doctors, or were you?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
so yeah, this movie stars Shirley MacLaine and Fisher. I'm sorry,
Harry
Fisher.
King.
Yes, and it's quite bizarre, but I like it. I actually liked it. You're like really young in it. It's so funny because you're a good I mean, you're an amazing actor in it. Like one of the scenes, I
Well,
want to pull
again,
up
I'm sure there were people who will debate you about
No,
that.
I'm not going to pull up that particular scene, but I just want to bring back some memories. How long has it been since you've seen that? Have you seen the clip of that movie? By the way,
Position Joel Delaney, quite a while.
Okay, so Mike, there's a few questions. I'm just going to grab the clip while that. And I think there's a few questions that some people have for
Well,
David.
you want to bring up the clip, and I will ask some questions.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get out of the way. I'm going to hide.
Let's see. A lot of people were fans of the doctors and their mothers. So, well, we have a Jaws 2 question. We'll wait till we get there. Victor, who is in Canada, wants to know if you ever get confused with David Elliot from JAG.
Every once in a while, and actually, David James Elliot from JAG is David James Elliot because I was already David Elliot in Screen Actors Guild, and so, but when I was younger, we used to get mixed up a little bit, but hasn't happened in a while.
Okay, that's good.
Somebody's already saying it's like, you want to swim home?
Yeah. Come the lines. Yeah, Victor, I'll ask you Jaws 2 question when we get to Jaws 2. And
I got it right here.
we're ready.
Yeah.
The Possession of Joel Delaney.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, nothing happened. What is it? It's okay. Nothing happened, it's okay. Don't kill me! I'll kill this son of a bitch! No, officer! Officer, that man is my brother! That's a brother? Joe, no, I'm Mrs. Nora Benson. My husband is Mr. Benson. Don't treat him like a common criminal. He hasn't done anything. He's Joe Delaney. I've got car insurance.
Bellevue. What do you think?
I'm Mrs. Nora Benson. I'd like some information.
Excuse me, miss.
I'm anxious about...
Admissions. No, we don't have that information. We don't have that information, I'm sorry.
I'm anxious about the condition of my brother.
Everybody's anxious, lady. Just have a seat over there like everybody else.
Look, I'm Mrs. Nora Benson. My former husband, Ted Benson, is the surgeon.
No, you're kidding. My former husband is Joe Crenshaw, the plumber. Maybe they know each other.
See, here, I want information about my brother, Joe Delaney. Now, if I don't get it from you, I shall have to report you. Do you understand?
You want to report me? Use the pay phone. Hello?
This is Nora. I'm terribly sorry to disturb you. Is Ted there?
Oh, Nora, just a minute.
Ted?
Who's it?
It's Nora. Another emergency.
Thank you. Yes, Nora, what is it this time?
I'm sorry to disturb you, but
Joel.
Hang on, Mike. We lost him for a second.
Back home?
The clip hasn't come up with him on it, so I just...
Bellevue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to go back a little bit where he is, because this is where he's at. So when he comes back on again, we lost him live. So this is young. This is him as I don't even know how old he is. He's going to tell us, but
Like 12 or
yeah,
13.
it's pretty cool because he's right there. You can see him. And we're going to turn our mics off and put him in the middle so you guys can watch this. So,
are you all right? Are you all right? All right, I tell you what we'll arrange. Skate here a little while longer, and then we'll go home and have a very special dinner, all right?
I can't tonight, no, I'm sorry.
Why not?
Well, I got a meeting, that's all.
What kind of a meeting?
Just business.
A business meeting with whom?
How about tomorrow night?
Well, I hadn't planned on tomorrow night. I planned on tonight.
You didn't ask me. You just went ahead and planned. You can't always go ahead and plan like that.
Is he coming for dinner tonight? Tomorrow night. He doesn't skate as good as Dad.
Mom, I'm hungry. We're still waiting for Joe.
Yes, it won't be long. Did you finish your homework? It's so tired.
Not yet.
Veronica, would you mind staying a little later tonight? I'd appreciate it. Let's not use those glasses. Let's use the crystal. They're much nicer. Oh, that must be Joe. Stop fooling with your hair like that, Harry. Hello? Oh, it's you, James. No, I was just expecting someone else. No, I can't do it Friday night. I'm going to a meeting of the Legal Defense Fund. And Saturday night to a benefit. Why don't you call me later in the week? Perhaps I can hold Sunday open for you. Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.
I'm starving. Do we have to wait for Joel?
All right, I'll go in. Stop doing that to your hair, Carrie. Joel? Joel?
there it is.
Good looking
Here
kid.
you are.
Sorry about that. I've been trying to get back in for a little while, but
So young. Look at you. We weren't going to put you. I'm going to put you in the middle. We weren't going to do the scene where you're on the table. That is crazy. If actually, you know what? If that movie is actually, I actually started watching it, and it was twisted. It's her brother. He kind of like gets taken over by a voodoo spirit, and those are her kids. And then they come over, and then he makes he makes him get up on the table, and it's a crazy scene. How did you feel about that as a young actor? Like, I'm pretty impressed that you just got up and do that. Did they make you? Did they kind of like did he walk you through it, or how did you? to get up naked and be shot from like that. I'm just curious myself as a question, as a fan of yours, how
So
did
that movie was worth thousands of dollars of therapy. Um, so that whole table scene was not in the original script when I took the movie. And basically it was, we shot most of the movie, and then the last 2 weeks of shooting, we went out to Amagansett, Long Island, to that house, to do all the shooting in the house. And they rewrote the scene so that I would have to end up dancing naked on a table. And my mother, who was supposed to be my guardian, was like, sure, fine, whatever. And they also told me that my dog had been hit by a car, and that they didn't know if it was going to live or not, to get me to cry for the scene where the dog gets killed. And there's also a scene in there where I try and escape and run down the steps.
Yeah,
And
I saw that. We lost you, Dave. We lost you. That's okay. Dave, just try coming back on again. Sometimes it, like, you've been on these before. They get the reboot again. Try to get on again. We lost you. Anyways, guys, that movie, like you just said, like I watched it, and I let him. Here he comes again. Here he is. He's up again. You're up again. Sorry, that keeps happening.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. I don't know. But at any rate, it was quite an experience. I think I was saying so we had this fight scene where you see him chase me down the steps and then bring me back up. And we did that. It took like most of the day to shoot that scene. And the whole time he had a real switchblade in his hand, and they just put a piece of Scotch tape over the point to make it safe. So it was a crazy production.
That sounds like you're like years of therapy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was definitely years of therapy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's get to Jaws 2 real quick. Now, there's a great story in our book that you told me. You almost didn't get Jaws 2 because you were planning on a different career.
So, yeah, I actually wanted to be a police officer. And so in my junior year of high school, I left high school. I moved into Greenwich Village, courtesy of the doctors, because it enabled me to do that. And basically spent my senior year of high school living in Greenwich Village by myself. And when I was getting close to turning 18, I decided I was going to join the Marines and try and go through their military police program and then come out and be a cop. And I went down to the Marine recruiter's office, and they were supposed to be open until I think 5:30, and I got there about 4:30, and they were closed. And I went back to my apartment, and there was a message on my answering service that I had this audition the next day for this thing called Jaws 2.
Oh, wow.
And that brought me out to Hollywood, and I never did end up becoming a police officer.
Okay. Now, you were originally Reeves Vaughn, named after one of Dorothy Tristan's nephews, I believe.
Yeah.
What was the difference in the character? We had Billy Van Zandt on week before last, and before last, and he said that kind of you were like the bad boy originally.
Oh, it was a fantastic part. I mean, it was just full of scenery chewing scenes, being the evil son of the mayor. And But it also had a scene at the end that was that he turns around and becomes quite heroic and takes a mast of one of the sailing ships and harpoons the shark, and it was fantastic. I mean, if they'd actually shot that, I probably would have had a much better career than I ended up having. But John had me speaking with a Boston accent. I'm sure you know Ricky Schroeder was originally cast as young Brody, and there was this whole scene where I was like, you want to be shark bait, Brody? And dangling Ricky Schroeder over a dock when the shark was there, and it was a fantastic. It was a great part, and I think you showed that photo of on the bicycle with Roy Scheider. I had some great scenes with Roy Scheider talking to him and saying, you can't have me. I'm the mayor's son. So anyway,
That's a good accent.
There it is.
There he is.
Yep.
You can see the attitude. You can see the attitude in the face. So
we lost David again. He keeps on coming out in and out. That's a great picture, though.
Yeah.
I love that. We'll go back to the 3 until he comes back again. We're going to start asking questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sometimes
ask.
Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
was gonna ask Rogério's question when he comes back.
Yeah. It's got to be the internet because sometimes it's just shoddy. Like that's what happens. The interview that I saw him on with the doctors, like they had such a big following. They had like all the original people there from like it went on for 17 years, and he was on there, and they did like a group chat. But Keith, you like twisted movies like that. If you see The Possession, watch that. It's pretty intense. Like he's like as a child actor, like really amazing. Like I was so impressed. Let me bring myself down.
And it's just me. There he is, and we're back. Okay.
Yeah, we keep losing you. That's okay. It happens. We're live. Oh, we got someone still saying, still handsome.
Still handsome.
Still handsome.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
There you go.
It is. I was just telling people about that movie, even though I know you don't like it. I think that a lot of people have film Facebook sites. And as a child actor, you were really, really good because that was, I kept watching all the clips, and running around trying to find the doctor's clip because I'd watched all that. But while you were gone, I'm sorry, David. It's the shoddy, and sometimes the shoddy internet. You'll have to keep coming back on and on.
Yeah.
So
and it just takes me a while because I got to shut it all down and then click back on. That's what took me so long the first time. But I'll just keep re-upping.
Okay.
Sorry.
We have a couple of Jaws 2 questions. The first, we have a fan in Brazil named Rogério. He's usually here every week. He is in the hospital. He took sick, but he asked me to ask you in the Marvel comic version of Jaws 2, which is kind of based on Dorothy and Howard Sackler's script. Larry Jr. gets eaten by the shark. Was that ever a possibility? Did you know of in the film when you were working with John?
I think during the 9 months that we filmed, they changed the ending so often that every one of us was getting eaten at some point or another, and then not getting eaten. And I'm sure there was a version in which I got eaten, but I don't remember specifically if it was in the original script. I don't remember that. I think I do. My recollection 50 years ago is that 40 years ago, whatever it was, is that but I know I do know at some point I was on the chopping block.
Okay. Now, Billy also said you had a good scene that they filmed when Billy was actually eaten.
Yeah.
Kind of a little more of an emotional scene. Victor wants to know what was the difference in working with John Hancock, his style, and then working with Jeannot.
Well, John was a lot more interested in getting performances. The whole project was darker and more character and actor driven, and Jeannot was brought in because he could get it done, and his job was to bring that. It was to get the picture shot, and he both great guys. I have the greatest respect for both of them. It was just a completely different experience. But, Jeannot took the shooter. He was like, how in the World War II movies there is the tough guy, and then there is the guy who is always crying, and that is their character because they are they're signifying a certain type of person, and so that is what we have to have with the kids on the raft.
That's a good Jeannot.
You are good.
That's a really good Jeannot.
We're not worthy.
And look, frankly, once we got out on the water, it was so difficult to just get something in front of the camera that was decently lit that, you better have your performance on the one where everything worked, because otherwise you weren't going to get a second take.
Somebody wants to know if you met John Williams. Did you meet John Williams, or did they not even be around?
Not meet John Williams. However, we did go when we were in Martha's Vineyard. John Dukakis did bring us to the Boston Pops, where his grandfather was the conductor, and they did play a John Williams melody while we were there.
Wow!
Nice.
Somebody asked, "What was it like?" Do you remember? I mean, I know I brought that up. Years of therapy. How was it working with Shirley MacLaine? How was it working? Somebody wants to know, what was it like to work with Shirley MacLaine?
Shirley MacLaine was a Hollywood actress, and it was all about her.
I heard those stories.
Uh-huh.
I heard those stories.
Yeah.
I had a friend in Baltimore in our local that was a PA on guarding tests, and he would agree with everything you just said.
So. Yep.
What when Billy Van Zandt was on, he was talking about Andrew Dice Clay, and he was talking that story about Elaine Strickland, and then he said, "Okay, we can't have two of us in here." Remember that story, Michael?
Two divas, yeah, can't have two divas.
You want to talk about a diva? I was like, "Give us the goods, give us the goods." That was a good Boston impersonation. Could you do that again? Because I'm from Boston. I mean, I was pretty impressed right there.
From Boston? You're wicked. Yeah. You're wicked smart.
Yeah.
Wicked smart.
My mother grew up in Somerville or Slummaville.
Oh my God, Somerville, yeah.
Somerville, yeah.
Question is, just how horrific was it seeing Billy Van Zandt get killed?
Oh, it's horrible. He was my wingman. Your wingman eating in front of you. Billy Van Zandt was, what just a tremendous human being. What a funny man, and just one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. And, there is no one else I would have rather spent 9 months sailing around Florida with. He was and is quite a great guy.
He is. Jay, do you have the Jaws 2 clip?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
We're going to show a clip that has your signature line in it.
Infamous. Yeah. Wait, there was another question for David. Here it is. What was life like for you during the summer of '78? Michael, could you read that? I'm just gonna go.
What was it like for you in the summer of '78 when the movie was released? Did your life change? Did it affect you? Would people recognize you, or?
Yes, there was a short period where it was the joyful experience of a working actor with a film out where, you know,
Do we lose him?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. What are you going to do? Well, we'll pull up the clip. Don't leave, folks. It's okay. He's probably going to come back and answer the rest of this question right here.
Yeah.
And then he's had amazing, he's an author too. We'll talk about his book. He wrote a book. He's back on again.
Okay.
There he is. There he is. He's coming on any second again. Hi.
Hi.
It's
So-
musical. Go ahead.
So, okay, it's the summer and you're famous.
And no, it was, I mean, there were a couple weeks where it was terrific. But I have to say that it actually did not create the kind of buzz that I think for any of us that we were all hoping that it would. And you know, after that initial release, you know, I was just another young actor in Hollywood looking for a job.
Okay. Did you ever just go? Oh, I was saying, did you ever just go and stand in the back of a theater, or go sit in there with an audience?
Billy, Jane Milmore, and I went to this big theater in downtown Los Angeles to just see, you know, to just see how the crowd was reacting.
Yeah.
And one of my fondest memories, because at the end when we're all on the raft and I'm telling Jackie to shut up and throwing around, there was a gal behind us that was like, "You go, boy! I hate that girl."
Oh, nice.
Oh, another question is, who were you the closest with? And I'm guessing it was Billy.
Oh, absolutely, Billy.
Yeah.
Ben Marley and I were great friends, but pretty much Billy and I were, you know, were friends on screen and off, and hung out, you know, the most. And I think we were the most sedate when it came to extracurricular activities.
Everybody else
So,
partying.
yeah.
I love how you worded that.
Well, I'll just say I got told a lot of stories, many from Mark Gruner that didn't appear in the book. So yeah.
Behind
and I have a lot of stories that I'm not going to share.
And you know, you mentioned that, you know, you guys are close, and I mentioned it with Billy, and I mentioned when Gary was on that I've worked on several films, and usually it's very perfunct. You come on, you do your job, you're kind of like set friends, and then everybody leaves. But everybody in that cast really are still close and still get together. It's just such an unusual kinship.
Well, it was an unusual movie. I mean, like you said, most jobs last 1 or 2 weeks, and you know, at best, you know, 4 to 8 weeks. And we were together for 9 months, and we were living in this, you know, I mean, Navarre Beach was way off the beaten path. I mean, there was literally a convenience store and the Holiday Inn that we were staying in, and not much else. And so, you know, we were pretty, and we were working 12 hours a day with each other. So, and they sent us down there about a month early to all learn how to sail. And, you know, so it was kind of like, you know, it was a bonding experience for us, for those of us, and those of us who survived. I mean, again, you have to understand that they fired half the cast and then brought half of us back. So it was quite the experience. And it was 1977, and we were 18, 19-year-old kids, and it was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, can I ask you something? Did you have a little crush on? I'm guessing it's going to be. I would say you had a crush on Martha. or you won't tell me?
I would say it would be difficult to not have a crush on all the women that were.
Yeah, they are all cute
because
as
they are all lovely. They're all lovely human beings. They're all really sexy ladies, and so I think it's fair to say that I had a little crush on all of them.
Oh, I like that answer. That's great. Because should we watch this?
But you did take Karen Corboy to the prom.
I did take Karen Cornboy to the prom. That is correct.
Oh, I did not
Or
know
maybe I
that.
should say she took me because
Yeah.
it was her prom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'd like to see a photo of that. That'd be a great photo of that.
It's in the book. Did you not read the book I sent you? Yeah, thanks. Thanks for reading it. Was it like holding your,
No,
is
I
that
was
your
in
coaster?
Boston, and I just got home to Phoenix.
David, did you get a copy of the color book?
I don't think I have I have the color book. No.
Okay, I'll get you one in the mail tomorrow.
All right.
It's nice.
Well, it's just amazing all the work you've done. And,
thank you.
And I still, it amazes me that, there is so much interest in that movie that is now, what is it, 40 years old? I mean,
42.
42,
well,
yeah.
For a lot of people, that was the introduction to the Jaws world.
Yeah.
Jaws 2. And then they went back and watched Jaws and they watched the other ones. So I think that's why it's so popular. Do you have that clip?
Yeah, I wanted to tell him too.
Sorry.
I put mine on my personal profile. You're coming on tonight, and then my sister was like, "He still looks hot. He still." And no offense to your wife or whatever, he's like, "He looks so hot still." He's like, Larry Vaughn Jr. was my favorite hot, and I'm like, I don't know. Now that anyways, but I didn't have, like I said, they're all good-looking men that are in, like you said, that are in that movie. Gary, you. Billy, Mark, Gruner. Anyways, we had a question for you, but we will show that clip and we're going to show it now and it's going to start at the beginning. I don't want to lose you. Hopefully I won't lose you. So here we go.
Right.
Oh, Larry, look. Larry, look. What? Look at her.
You. Great, thanks.
Well?
She got tits like a sparrow.
Do you have to talk like that?
What are you, my mother? Were you under the jib?
We're going sailing. Sailing? Yeah, come on, I want to meet this guy. Okay, so cute.
He's tanning the soles of his feet.
Douglas.
Don't worry about it, all right?
Come on, you guys, I'm ready.
Hey, I thought you said she was coming with us.
Well, obviously, she's not.
You want to talk about it?
You want to swim home?
going for lobster. Wait, bring me one. I want mine drawn with butter. You got that, Tom? Sell them, turkeys. Okay, Sparky's gonna take you down today. If everybody's ready, let's buddy up and drop.
Amity launched the Harbor Patrol. Over.
This is Harbor.
Yeah, listen in.
Gotta love you. Gotta love it.
Two quick questions. Number one, what's a jib?
The jib is the front sail of the catamaran.
And second question,
is the jib. So if you see the two sails, the jib is the front sail.
Okay. And the second question, can you still do the one-handed handstand?
Maybe on a good day. with lots of traction and beer afterwards.
Okay. We have a question that the line you're most famous for. What were your initial thoughts on the "Tits Like a Sparrow" line?
You mean the line that will cringe in infamy forever?
It's not. We'll always have Paris, but you're always going to be remembered for a line.
It is not. We will always have Paris. It's more like we will always have misogyny.
No, I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it like I thought you were like, because you're like the character that always gets the girls. You're confident, and then I thought of it more like I could see right through it as a girl, like you were jealous a little bit, but not like because then you pull like you help pull them up.
Well, and that's how it was intended, obviously. But it is definitely a line that I wish I could rewrite.
You can't stand it when people say that to you. I would only imagine, right?
It's not that I can't stand it. It's just that let's just say it's not one of my prouder moments.
You're 17. I was 17 at the same time, and I would have said the exact same thing.
I think it's funny to say. I think it's
that you were natural. You were natural. You weren't like, ooh, that's a really attractive woman. It's just you spoke your mind.
That was a question that someone had. So then it says, David, do you still sail or anything?
Rarely. I mean, I actually was sailing like a couple of weeks ago, but it's not something I do regularly.
All right. How did you get into set construction, working behind the scenes?
I got into set construction because I was making my living as an actor, but barely, which meant that there wasn't a whole lot to do during the day other than, go to the gym and go to the occasional audition. And I had done an equity waiver play and helped them build the set for that and enjoyed it. And they were like, well, there are people that'll pay you to do this. And so I went down to this set shop that someone recommended me to and said, hey, can you hire me? I need to get off for auditions. I'm an actor. And they're like, are you kidding me? Like, everyone here is an actor or a musician or something. So writer. And actually Patrick Swayze worked at that same set shop for a while. We sort of have reverse careers. I went to that set shop and my career ended, and he went to that set shop and his career started. Because pretty much after I started working there, it was almost as though the luck that I'd had as an actor, and I'd had tremendous luck, got transferred over to construction. And pretty soon after that, I pretty much couldn't buy a job as an actor, but was basically running the construction department on feature films about 2 years later. So, and actually found that it gave me a lot more pleasure, a lot more satisfaction, and just enjoyed the day-to-day fun of it way more than I ever did acting. I mean, acting is incredibly boring. It's, sitting around for a long time, waiting for your moment, and then, trying not to screw up in that 30, 40 seconds, and then going back to waiting again. So, I mean, I loved the time that I was as an actor. It allowed me to go places and do things that I never would have otherwise. But on a day-to-day basis, I much more enjoyed working in construction, and being able to look at the end of the day and say, "Oh, I did that."
And you also,
go ahead.
you also wrote a book. He's an author, ladies and gentlemen, of the Starship. Oh, we lost him again. This is Jeopardy, folks. This is Jeopardy. This is live TV. I'm going to pull up his book. Woo! This is a good one. We're going on 5 now, Mike. Yeah. Well, when he comes up, his book will be here. Somebody asked if he liked Murray Hamilton. Mackenzie did.
I think all the kids did.
Yeah. And then let's see. Well, I hope I didn't miss any other questions. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh wait. Oh, here we go. Victor, I'm sorry. He had answered that. He had answered that. I know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they all stay in touch, Victor.
Yeah. Also, like, this is the book we were talking about. David's book is about it's one about Hollywood's top bodyguards attempting to rescue a kidnapped movie star. So well, David is still waiting on his 5th time coming back up again.
There he
5
is.
times.
5 times the charm.
5 times the charm. We have your book right there. So I was just talking about how amazing, like, I actually read some of your reviews on there, and your wife, like, it was funny because I didn't see your wife, but it said, wow, he has so many other, like, aspects of his resume. I mean, we could sit here forever. You were a private investigator, and then he writes this book, and this book has gotten really good reviews, and you wrote it in 2015. He's an author, guys. And then also, you're also with the union.
Yeah.
You're part of the union. Kevin Pike mentioned something today about you. You know Kevin Pike.
Yes, I do.
He said you were a really nice guy, and that he had the pleasure of putting you in a vest in Earth 2. So I wanted to bring that up. And another thing was we wanted to make sure that your book was plugged, because it's a good book, and I'm going to get it off Amazon. I've already gotten Billy's book. I watched a video about that. This book looks great and great reviews. Unlike Michael, I think you only got 1 bad review on your book, but like, I don't want to tell that story again.
On the Jaws 2 book, David. On the Jaws 2 book, there's a review.
Oh, my dogs are going crazy.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Don't worry. It happens. Mine
Bring 'em
didn't
on.
last week.
We're dog friendly here.
Yeah.
On Amazon, there's a 1-star review on the Jaws 2 book, and the review reads, I didn't read this book, but the movie sucked, so I'm pretty sure the book sucks too.
I shouldn't bring that up. I bring that every episode. Say that.
Why do you hurt me, Jay? Why do you hurt me?
Well,
you didn't have any bad reviews, Michael. I had to get it on you, did. So anyways, so go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry. Go.
Say, are you you have another book coming out? Are you still writing?
No, I really thoroughly enjoyed that book. I wrote it because I wanted to write a book that I wanted to read, and I had a great time doing it. But sort of when it came out, my life kind of changed, and I didn't have the same amount of time that I did, and started spending more time with my family, and really haven't had the urge to put out another one.
Okay.
But thank you for the plug.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I had talked to Jeff Kramer. I thought he should have your first novel. I thought he should have. I told him to option that. Is anybody optioned it, or any interest?
No. I mean, people have said, well, why don't you write a script and push it? And I was just like, look, I really did that for the experience. I really didn't have a desire to have it made into a movie, but obviously if somebody wanted to, I wouldn't fight them over it. But no, I didn't, I mean, I basically, I put it out there. If someone enjoys reading it, then that's the best satisfaction I can have.
Okay.
Great news. Great news.
Yeah. Keith Stevenson wants to know, is there an actor you look up to? Do you have a favorite actor?
Oh, I have a bunch of them. I mean, there's so many good actors out there, but I guess, Marlon Brando was someone that I always wanted to emulate. On the Waterfront was sort of the movie that I saw where I was like, wow, being an actor could be cool. And but there's so many great actors out there that just um, I can't, it'd be too many to name.
Okay. What's the business like now? Are you guys getting back to work out? And he's gone. Oh, did we lose him again?
We're out again.
Oh. Yeah, Matt, he does. He does.
Yeah.
He talks about Bob and his reaction.
Wait, what does this one say? A bunch of famous people went to
Rampo High School.
Oh, who is that? I can't see the person's name.
Facebook user. I can't see. My comments stopped on Facebook.
So to
There he
answer
is.
your
Hello.
question, it's really starting to explode. Everybody's getting back to work, which is terrific. We just signed the return to work agreement, which codifies the COVID-19 protocols that everyone is supposed to observe while shooting. And so it's getting really, really busy. And to that note, I'm actually going to have to sign off pretty soon because I've got a pile of work that I've still got to do today. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Our we have a fan.
So much.
Yeah, we have a fan in Italy, Fabio, that's a professional photographer, and he sent me some shots he took. He's on the set, whatever Tom Cruise is doing over there. But he's every picture when they're not filming, everybody's in a mask.
Yep.
So, well, stay safe.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry about the internet.
Thank you, and thank all of your fans. We really appreciate the support and really appreciate the interest. So everybody be safe, be healthy, be well.
Thank you, David. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Thank you. What a nice guy, huh? What
Great
a nice
guy. All of everyone I talked to, even the weird ones, they were.
Michael!
There were some weird ones. I have another book of stories I could have printed, but I didn't. So
like two weirdos, just
yeah, but they're all super great people. I didn't have one problem talking to anyone. They made time. They were and like I said, they're always getting together. They're always having dinner. They're always working together. So it's an amazing. It's such an unusual thing in Hollywood to have bonded, 40 years ago and still have that bond. So I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad everybody's happy.
With his internet. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, you've noticed that, Mike. You just got to roll with it. And he's on a live show, but I'm glad that he spent the time with us because we started basically like it's been an hour. So
yeah.
I would like to ask him this question though. This person knows that he went to that high school.
Where is that? Where is that high school person?
Rockland. Ever come back to Rockland? Where he's from? Is that Don Gale? No.
No, it's just Facebook user, or it could be Don. For some reason on my iPad, my comments stop after a while. I don't know why.
It's not working tonight. It was just one of those things. It's not working.
Yeah, but it's just Facebook. It's Facebook user on my screen, but on
Rockland
iPad
County, New
it
York.
stopped.
I got it. Rockland County, New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hi. I'm wondering if this is one of the new people that came on that joined today from Instagram. If you are, just put your name in. I want to say hello. Folks, this is a live show. Sometimes the feeds come in. Sometimes you get a janky feed. There's only so much we can do as far as live. If this happens to a lot of people, we want to thank you for coming in and hanging out. Although he had to leave, Michael and I just want to say thank you for all coming. And new people just came, Mike, from Instagram. So we're doing a lot of hashtags. We've got Lenora. Wait a minute. Did you want to say that? Yeah,
Lenora.
okay.
Next week, scheduled, we have Lenora May, and I'm also trying to get Nancy Sawyer. They were two actresses that were originally cast by John Hancock. Lenora filmed a lot of scenes. Lenora was Mike Brody's girlfriend in the film. She's got some great stories. So as her schedule works, and hopefully it will, she will be here next week. And I've asked Nancy Sawyer to join her. We'll get a couple of the actresses to tell, because for a lot of them, like for Billy and for David and for others, Jaws 2 was their first movie, and they went in with such, I acted in high school, Matt acted in high school, and if we'd been offered something like that, you would have gone in thinking, okay, I'm going to be in the sequel to the greatest, most popular film ever. I'm going to have a great career. And then all of a sudden you're not there anymore. And Lenora still works. She works very steady. She was on Little House on the Prairie. She does a lot of stuff. So she's had her career, but really, and David mentioned it wasn't big. The only actor that really did anything afterwards was Keith Gordon.
Yeah.
Keith Gordon's the only actor that had any kind of established long-running career. And, I don't know if it was Jaws 2. I don't know if it was All That Jazz. I don't know which movie it was that got him noticed, but really he's the only, the others all did little things. Mark Gilpin did stuff, and, Ann Dewsbury still worked for a while. And, Lily Knight, who was fired, she did Agnes Agata on Broadway. Sarah Holcomb did Caddyshack and Animal House. So they all had steady careers afterwards, but nothing, I think, to the point that they thought they were going to hit. So
We will. Yeah. Mackenzie, we will. I didn't know that you were on there. I will, though. Thank you. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Dawn Gale. I don't see your name. Keith Stevenson said that every time he comes on now, he just clicks the Be Live Allow on the page of Let's Talk Jaws. Just make sure you do it now, because it doesn't always come up. So just before you start the show, you don't have to, it's up to you, but it's good to see your name, so that Michael doesn't, keep looking back, and we can address you. We'd like to thank David for showing up today, and that was great to have him on. We've been having some great stars. Victor's in heaven. He's Jaws 2. I said to him the other day, I'm like, is that a doggy toy?
it is. It's
I'm so ADD. I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah,
What?
it's a stuffed hedgehog.
Yeah, a hedgehog.
It is. It's a Ron Jeremy toy. It's a hedgehog. Thank you, Facebook user. Our pleasure.
Oh, Peter was telling me the other day, he goes, your facial expressions are priceless. And I'm like, mine? He goes, no, Michael's. And I go, oh, yeah. When he starts to go, when he's like, oh, you're not showing? Okay, whatever. Anyway, so your face is showing. Is Victor Marabelli asleep?
Wow, this must be the it must be the 1941 of talk shows that Victor fell asleep.
I know he wasn't really like, I guess he probably was watching. Maybe he lost the internet. It was like one of those flukes tonight. Well, one of those Mercury's in retrograde tonight, Mike. I don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. My hair, the in and out. And thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Victor. Hey, Victor, you're the best. Thank you, guys.
He's back. He's there.
Actually, you know what else is on? I see 11 people on, so I can't really see all their names, but thank you all for coming on again. If you're watching the rebroadcast, say hello. Michael is a Jaws 2 guru, so if you've got any questions, he will answer them for you. Matt, hi, Matt. I already got it. I got the last 2 from the Amity bookstore.
Oh, did you? Oh, good. You got yours, Matt? Good.
Yeah, I got yours. I'm not Edith and all that. So that's good. The plug there. And then his book, David Elliott's book. Check it out.
Yeah.
Got great reviews.
Matt, I told her to write Matt. I think she wrote mate. but she's 95, so excuse her. But I did have her personalize it to you. So yeah.
Anyways, thanks again, folks, for joining us. But let's talk Jaws live as she goes today, Michael.
You can tell we're live.
It's never working. It's never working. Thanks, Mackenzie. Thanks, guys. Next week, Lenora May. She
And
actually
maybe Nancy
joined.
Sawyer.
I actually looked and I saw her join, and then I was like, "Who is that?" I looked at her resume. She's got a really nice resume. There are all kinds of things going on tonight.
My phone. My phone's ringing.
Oh,
It's my wife.
okay, I heard it. All right, well, Mate's a seafarer name. Okay, well, farewell and adieu, everybody. Have a good night. And I think that was 6 times that he came on. So thank you. If you're watching this, David Elliot.
Yeah, David, thank you. Thank you for your time. Stay safe.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. Leave comments, likes, and we'll see you next Thursday at the same time. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.
Fins up.
Stay safe.